Hollywood fans and producers alike adore a good romance trope. Stories featuring good girl and bad boy couples have been popular for as long as there have been tales to tell. There's something generally appealing about the bad boys and their good girl mates who show how polar opposites relate and often blossom into compelling love stories. In this video, we discuss the top good girl bad boy couples in movies and TV history. First up, we have Jess and Justin, 13 Reasons Why. Even though the Netflix teen drama 13 Reasons Why was a controversial one, it gave us one of the best good girl couples on television. In the beginning, Jess is a bright and friendly character who takes it upon herself to befriend newcomer Hannah. Justin is a brooding, sneaky jock who has a challenging family life and doesn't always speak up when he should. Though their relationship could be seen as toxic at times, these two are always there for each other during tough times. What makes this couple stand out is the way they swap roles. In some way, as the show progresses, Jess somehow becomes the bad girl and Justin slowly transforms into a good boy, with the guidance of Clay. Although their relationship constantly hits the rock and has a tragic ending, this couple remains one of Hollywood's favorite heartthrobs. Next, we have Bill and Suki, True Blood. Being a vampire has given Bill Compton a reputation as a necessary evil, and he has to deal with it. Although he's not particularly a bad boy, his pouting, alluring, seductive, and bloodthirsty vampire vibes do fit the bill. His heart is considerably warmer than most, and the cheerful, sweet-hearted, and kind waitress in the small town of Bontemps, Suki, finds herself enchanted by him. Only Suki can see past Bill's villainous reputation. She seems to constantly slip into Bill's web, unable to make logical decisions when it comes to him. Other characters in the show often try to steer good girl Suki's life in a different direction because they don't trust her to make smart choices, especially regarding Bill. The tragic end to their love story also gives it quite the edge. Suki is also romantically involved with another bad boy character, Eric, on the show, and he eventually softens for her. Do you remember Dylan and Brenda from the show Beverly Hills 90210? They're next on our list. Bad boys have a tendency to be misunderstood, secretive, or emotionally distant. There was a pair on the popular show Beverly Hills 90210 who embodied the bad boy good girl stereotype. The show follows a group of Beverly Hills, California friends as they go from their teenage years into adulthood. The character of Dylan McKay, played by the late Luke Perry, was established early on as a bright and mature young man, but he has emotional scars from the past and battles alcoholism, which may make him explosive. Until he meets sensible Brenda, or Shannon Doherty, Brenda becomes a ray of hope for him as he struggles with alcoholism and feelings of rejection. Of course, Brenda's parents would try to force an end to their relationship. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a bad boy romance. Anna Steele and Christian Grey, 50 Shades of Grey, are the next couple we look at. Wide-eyed naivete is embodied by Anastasia Anna Steele, whereas Christian, billionaire bad boy Grey, is anything but that. Still, Christian is attracted to Anna because of her openness in an interview for Anna's school newspaper. Once she gives her blessing to a specific unusual type of relationship, the two of them take on the world and more. The story is as much about power and imagination as it is about love. Even though the movie left many people wanting more, the couple has become a symbol of consensual kink in popular culture. The fifth couple on our list is Hardin and Tessa in After. Hardin is the full bad boy package right out of a Wattpad novel. He's mysterious, dashing, and uncaring. Tessa is a nice new student on campus who's completely focused on her studies. Once she meets Hardin, her perfect little world starts to take an unexpected turn. Initially, she tries her best to keep her distance and keeps her feelings for Hardin hidden. He's supposed to be bad news. However, as their romance develops, she lets down her guard. At first, Hardin is a total villain, but he eventually falls hopelessly in love with her. And although Hardin equally has feelings for Tessa, their rocky relationship is complicated by the fact that he has anger issues and a hidden agenda. Next up is Johnny and Baby from Dirty Dancing. There is no way to complete this list without including this timeless masterpiece. Johnny Castle was the definition of a heartthrob when this movie was released. Johnny is not the stereotypical bad boy like many others on this list. On the contrary, he treats Baby with kindness and respect always. The fact that he is the resort's dancing instructor and a bit of an oddball makes him a fit for the bad boy label. Baby is a young girl who just wants to live it up in her youth. but she's in for an unpleasant surprise when she learns that her parents have other plans for the summer, a drab resort in the Catskills. However, after she meets the resort's hot dancing instructor, she decides to give the place a chance and enjoy her time there. Johnny talks to Baby about being his new partner and things take off from there. They eventually fall in love. Although many guests didn't know Johnny personally, Baby's father finds out about him and considers him a bad influence. Things get heated up when he forbids Baby from meeting Johnny. On the other hand, Baby is determined to dance with him at the summer's final grand dance. Gossip Girl fans can't get enough of Chuck and Blair. Chuck is not your typical bad boy. He has an eye for style and wears designer clothing. However, some of his ensembles are questionable. That said, he has all the traits of a bad boy. He took pleasure in intimidating and blackmailing others. He enjoyed watching the lives of others shatter. But the coming of Blair into his life changes that. Although she tries to present herself as one, Blair wasn't exactly a saintly nice girl. But then, she does have a quiet, loving side that ends up winning Chuck's heart and making him fall in love with her. Now, let's look at Landon and Jamie, A Walk to Remember. The teen romance A Walk to Remember is one classic that had stood the test of time. The unforgettable romance still manages to move viewers to tears. You can't help but notice how wonderful Shane West and Mandy Moore looked as an on-screen couple. This movie maintains Nicholas Sparks' tradition of crafting bittersweet love stories. Landon holds the reputation for being the popular kid and resident bad boy. An event occurs and he and some of his friends unintentionally hurt another student. His punishment comes in the form of community service, which includes being in the school play, an activity he couldn't care less about. When he needs help, he turns to Jamie, the socially awkward and shy pastor's daughter. While Jamie did tell Landon not to develop romantic feelings for her, the latter falls in love with her eventually. The story explores the dynamics of their relationship, and we watch the bad boy get a fresh perspective on life and a renewed sense of purpose. Next on the list is Annette Hargrove and Sebastian Valmont from Cruel Intentions. Cruel Intentions can take the prize for being the best good girl bad boy movie ever made. This movie is a fan favorite among audiences who love stories of young people finding love in unlikely places. What's more, the bad boy stereotype is altered in this movie. Instead of the regular black-jacket, brooding bad boy, Sebastian finds his own pleasure in seducing and manipulating young women that are not meant for him into falling in love with him. He's simply bad news, and his therapist would agree with us. A wager to win the heart of the incoming headmaster's daughter is the motivation for him to step up his game once again. Annette is the very image of kindness and purity, and when he sets out to woo her, he has no doubts regarding his victory. One thing he never considered was that Annie had him all figured out, and his womanizing ways are not news to her. The lives of Sebastian and Annette becomes intertwined as the story unfolds. Annette does fall into Sebastian's trap, but then the unexpected happens, and he develops feelings for her too. Wrapping our list up at number 1 is Damon and Elena of The Vampire Diaries. The heartthrobs from the vampire romance top our list for good reason. Damon Salvatore personified the seductive, gorgeous, and dangerous bad boy in the minds of viewers. He's got the dark leather jacket, the black outfits, the mesmerizing eyes, and the cherry on top, he's a vampire. He waltzes back into Mystic Falls to cause trouble, with Stefan being his main victim. After meeting Elena, Damon suddenly becomes concerned about the mayhem he causes. Elena, a young lady from a remote town, is grieving the loss of her parents. As the show progressed, we watched Elena's feelings for Damon change. His magnetic presence, sharp wit, sense of humor, and the bad boy appeal slowly draws her in. Damon's compassion and care for Elena also slowly transform him. In the end, they discover a love that consumes them both and awakens parts of themselves that they had no idea existed, despite the fact that the question of whether or not she made the right decision is still open for debate. And that debate is one of the reasons why the romance in this movie is sizzling. And that's it, the top 10 iconic good girl bad boy couples in movies and television history. What do you think? Which one's your favorite? Let's keep the conversation going in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.